Welcome back. So I'm going to get started by grabbing my e-file and doing some prep. So I'll be prepping the bottom half of the extensions as well as my natural nails with this today, but to prep the inside of the extensions, I'm going to be using the mini sanding band. All I'm doing here is just going up and down, side to side, so that we have some texture at the bottom of the extension so that the gel glue can grip to it and our extensions don't pop off too soon. And I know too soon is up to your personal preference, so basically we don't want these extensions popping off until we're ready for them to come off. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to put these down, move the extensions to the side, and begin prepping my natural nails. And I'm going to switch over to my cuticle ball bits. And I'm just going to gently go from left to right around my cuticle area. So I'm only going to do a little bit of that because I prepped my nails maybe 3 or so days prior. So there wasn't much that needed to be done. So I'm just going to take my cuticle nippers now and take any of the remaining dead skin off the cuticle area that I don't want there. And then once I'm done, I'm going to clean off the nail with 70% alcohol. I say this all the time. You don't have to use alcohol if you don't like to put it on your nail beds or get it onto your skin. You can get up at this point, wash your hands with soap and water, and that works too. So now I'm going to go in with my dehydrator, but just a disclaimer, I will be using a peel-off base coat in a few moments. If you do not want to use a peel-off base coat, you would go straight in with your primer and then apply the gel glue that you're going to be using to apply the extensions with. For me though, or for you, if you decide to use a peel-off base coat, go in with dehydrator and then go straight in with the peel-off base coat. Do not apply a primer underneath the peel-off base coat. It's not going to be easy to get off if you do. I've learned that the hard way. So now I have my peel-off base coat on. If you opted not to do peel-off base coat, you should have the gel glue that you're going to be using to apply the extensions on. We're going to go ahead and cure and then move on to applying our gel extensions. For gel glue, I will be using this one here by Mia Secret, and I'm just placing a little bit on the left side of the extension, the right side of the extension, and then on the bottom half. But this time we will be doing the overlay method, so application is going to be a bit different than usual. I'm going to be leaving a small gap between where my cuticle line is and where the bottom half of the extension is going to start. And then once I have it in place, I am going to flash cure in my lamp. So essentially, this is what it will look like. There will be a small space from your cuticle area and the extension. We're going to fill that in with some gel. But when you're doing this, you don't want to have the extension too far away from your cuticle area. Most extensions you will use will have an apex. These are Opre's sculpted stiletto long, so the apex is a little bit higher than their natural style. If the apex is way too high up on your natural nail, it defeats the whole purpose of having it there to provide strength and structure to the nail, because we don't want the extension to be prone to breakage or falling off prematurely. So I'm going to show you this again. Gel glue on the left side, gel glue on the right side, and a little bit on the bottom. Then we're going to place it onto the natural nail, leaving a gap between the cuticle area and where the extension will begin. And then we're just going to press down in a 45-degree angle. And so we're going to repeat this process for the rest of the extensions. Here is what it will look like on at this point. So we did do flash curing, however, we do still need to cure any big lamps, so let's go ahead and do that. So before we move on to applying a gel overlay, we need to make sure that the bottom half of the extension is leveled to our natural nail. So what I'm going to do is show you 2 ways to do this. The first is going to be to take a hand file and just file away at the base of the extension. I recommend to use a 100 over 180 grip because technically your natural nail is still exposed. I know we usually use an 80 over an 80 grit to file and shape the extensions. However, that's too harsh to be around the natural nail. As you can imagine, this can take some time. Not a lot of time, but it does take some time. So to speed it up, I am going to switch over to the second method, which is basically taking my e-file and a mini sanding band and going from left to right. So the reason why we file the extensions is because we want everything to sit level to the natural nail. If you were to go directly on top of the extension with gel immediately without filing it down a little bit, it can sometimes look look bulky at the cuticle area. And we never want our extensions to look bulky. We want them to look as natural as possible. The other thing is some brands of extensions have different thickness at the cuticle area. So these après tips happen to be very thin. So I am kind of just showing you for video and tutorial purposes, but there are other brands of extensions that have a thicker cuticle area where this step should not be skipped. I'm going to take my file and get rid of the little point that sits at the tip of the extensions and just do a little bit of filing around the edges just so that nothing is sharp. So now it's time to do the overlay, and I will be using the Yoga Zombie base gel for this because it is nice and thick. However, you can use builder gel or even hard gel for this. So what I'm doing is taking a little ball of base gel, putting it on the extension, and then I'm going to gently press it back towards my cuticle area, and then I'm going to swipe upwards. To do this, you can also use hard gel or even builder gel. I have used the Model 1's builder gel in a previous video, and you can check that out here. When I want to get closer to the cuticle area, I like to take a thin liner brush, put a ball of gel on it, and then use that to get as close to the cuticle as possible because it's smaller and I feel like I have a bit more control over it than I do the brushes that usually come in the polished bottles. If you are using a gel that's not super thick and you're worried about it running down the nail or flooding your cuticles while you work on the other fingers, you can flash cure in between fingers to freeze everything in place. With this one though, because it is so thick, I'm not worried about that, so I'm just going to continue on. And once I'm done, here is what everything is going to look like. So I am going to do a cure in my bigger lamp. And since I used the base gel, I'm going to go straight into nail art at this point. So as you know, we are going to be doing tortoise shell nails. So I'm going to show you how to do them the easy way. So to get started, I'm going to be taking this jelly polish here from Born Pretty and applying it on the nail. This is like a burnt orange shade, and we're only going to apply one thin layer of this because we want the nails to look a bit glassy but not be completely clear. So the secret to getting a very quick and easy tortoiseshell nail look is this product here, which is the DVOK Marble Fit Collection. These are basically marble polishes. This collection has a set of 10, and I'm going to use this orange shade here called Mahogany and this brown shade here called Espresso to create the tortoiseshell nail look. To get started, you have to start off with the blooming gel, which is the Marble Fit base that is formulated to work with these products. So what we're going to do is take this and apply a thin layer onto the nail. So the secret here though is, well, it's not really a secret, but how it works is if you apply a thin layer, the product is going to bloom slower. And if you apply a thick layer, the products bloom faster. So I personally like to start off with a thinner layer so that I can control where the colors bloom. And then we're not going to cure this. We are going to leave it wet. And then I'm going to take the burnt orange shade and start placing little, well, they're not really little, but I'm going to start making little circles on the nail. And the product is going to bloom on its own. It only takes a couple of seconds and it blooms out beautifully. Once everything is done blooming, we're leaving it wet and then going in with the brown shade and making some more circular shapes on the nail. This time though, as we take the brown, I'm going to make the circles a little bit smaller than what we did with the orange because we still want the orange shade to pop through and we don't want the nail to be overpowered by the brown. When working with this product, a little bit goes the longest way. I mean, a tiny drop is all you need at the tip of the brush. If you use too much product, it can potentially cause the nail to look bumpy once you go to cure it. So try to use really thin layers and just a dot of polish at a time. It is always easier to add more product whenever you're working with gel than it is to try to take it away. And with this product, it's no different. So once the nail looks the way I like it to, I'm actually going to continue on to the other fingers. However, If you know you're going to be working at a slower pace, I do recommend flash curing between each finger. And the reason why is because this product is essentially blooming consistently. It doesn't just stop blooming out of nowhere. You have to stop it. So freezing it in place by using a flash cure is the right way to go if it looks exactly the way you want it to. For me, I didn't mind it constantly blooming out. That's the look I was aiming for. So that's one of the things that is going to boil down to personal preference. And as I'm looking at the timestamps right now, doing the marble on all of the fingers, except for my thumb because I did a TikTok, it took me 10 minutes. So I started at marker 44 minutes in and I was done at 53 minutes in. So that's technically 9 minutes. So it does not take long at all to get this done. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of the fingers following the same technique, laying down a thin layer of the Marble Fit base, going in with the orange, and then finishing up by laying down the brown shade. So here's what the marbling looks like done. I'm gonna go in with top gel. Now you can use a matte top gel, but I'm gonna be using a shiny one. This one is DVOK Enamel Top and it is quite thick, so I think it's perfect for this look. And then I'm gonna do my final cure. And here are what the nails look like all done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I like working with these products. If you wanna see more tutorials with them, leave a comment down below and let me know. I have seen tortoiseshell nails everywhere on social media. It's like the perfect fall nail because the colors are just brown, orange. What more can you need for fall? But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do so on your way out, and I will see you in one of these videos here.